Hey everybody! For this video, I'm going to be drawing two different foods, but with a twist. They're humans! I was planning to turn fruits or vegetables into humans, but that's common. So I decided to instead turn actual foods into characters. I wasn't so sure on what foods to make the people into, but I landed on two concepts using a reel I found on the internet. I randomly got ice cream and pancakes, so yeah. Let's get started with ice cream! I was planning to do a fun pose of some sort, so I landed on sketching the back of a sitting girl like this, you see, but I've never drawn a pose like this before, and I was really confused while making it. That's part of why it took a lot longer to sketch than usual. I usually spend a lot of time drawing whatever I just think looks right at the moment, so that's why my anatomy artwork has seen better days. I was sort of unsure on how I was going to take the concept of ice cream and turn it into one human when there are, well, a lot of ice cream flavors to choose from. I started by considering my favorite flavors: mint chocolate chip, vanilla, coffee. I felt a little more confident with what I could do after that. So obviously I had to incorporate an ice cream cone somewhere or the picture wouldn't be true to ice cream at all. So I made her beanie hat the cone, if that makes any sense, and I'm pretty sure it looks alright. You know how ice cream has like that chocolate sauce on it or like a drizzle of caramel? I had to show that somewhere, so her hair and shoes, as you will see soon, look like they were dipped in melted chocolate. I think it's cute and it adds more style to the picture. Also, it makes a ton of sense, so why not? The legs were a lot of trouble. The sketch wasn't really working, and as soon as I had started the line art on it, I knew it was looking weird. But I had to try. I was basically just trying to keep it from looking too strange, but I got really frustrated. I literally almost grabbed a doll for a reference, but it somehow worked out, you know? Here I was checking, and then I learned that one of the legs looked really strange. I had to get rid of the foot and just try my best to fix it up. It looks alright now. I have no idea why, but I gave her gloves and then sloppily added a pink pearl bracelet to add more detail to the picture. See, I have a tendency to add random little things like jewelry to my artwork just for the sake of adding detail, but never really in fan art because I think it's important to get the character's true design right. I mean, character designing is great and adding your own flair is too, but why would someone just put such wonderful characters into the world if we're just gonna make our fan art look so wrong, am I right? Someone has to agree with this. Somebody out there. When I gave the shirt puffy sleeves and stripes, I was thinking of ice cream at those happy places like boardwalks and theme parks. While it's true it's sort of giving cupcake vibes, the design of a happy little cone of ice cream really shines through. Shading and lighting is a really valuable step in my process of creating drawings, digital and traditional. I wouldn't say that my shading is realistic or simple, but a mix that requires both solid and soft brushes. It really takes years of practice to draw this way. In the beginning, I was never even trying to make shading or lighting at all. It was really plain and lacking dimension, or as I like to say, frozen on the stage of flat coloring. I have no idea what to name this girl. I don't think she'll become much of an OC, but her design and personality is shining, and I feel like she deserves a name. I could settle with ice cream, but naming a human ice cream sounds kind of funny. Well, one thing I could do is give her a real culture or choose the language or languages she speaks in. Like if she spoke Spanish, I could name her helado or something of the sort to give her more value. There are a lot of options. Sugarita, sprinkle, minty, conette. To think I'll have to name the pancake human when it's time to. Well, I like conette and sugarita. Maybe conita? Sugarette? Oh, beautiful! I'm gonna name her Sugarette. I mean, she could be a candy girl and have the same name, but ice cream is a dessert, and so this cute name makes sense. For Sugarette's hair, I drew inspiration from Vanellope, my favorite character from Disney's Wreck-It Ralph. I started coloring the sprinkles in her hair, which was, by the way, so much fun. By simply choosing a fun color and tapping it in, I got a chill instead of doing the harder stuff. Having something calming to do in any drawing is really satisfying. I just chose a lot of random colors and threw them around so that they stand out. I also got to work on adding depth to the hair. It wasn't hard, it was easy. I'll have to thank my years of practice for that. So my whole idea for drawing foods as humans was sparked by a lot of the art challenges I've seen here on YouTube. When I'm doing something that I know a whole lot of other people are doing, it seems a little hard to remain confident. There is just this huge chance, this voice in the back of my head saying that I won't be on the very top of the hill. But I'm new. Beginners aren't really meant to be the best of the best. When it comes to things like making music, playing sports, and even video games, it's just gonna have to take a lot of practice. I'm a fresh YouTuber, and so I should not compare myself to others, right? It'll take a lot of work to remember that, but a positive mindset is what's taking me to so many places, amazing places. I'm honestly excited to see where my YouTube mindset, which will be positive, can take me. Here's a finished picture of Sugarette. I have to admit, her legs look kind of weird. I probably should have practiced this pose in my sketchbook. Just so you know, I completely forgot to record me drawing the light sketch, but I'm going to be doing a more detailed sketch on top of it, so you're not missing out on any of the fun stuff. Now, I knew from the start that I wanted to make the pancake human a guy. I also wanted to make sure it screamed pancakes and nothing else. I was dealing with a daunting task. I mean, the concept of the food itself isn't as broad or vague as the idea behind ice cream. There are many flavors of pancakes, but the true flair in them comes down to the toppings, no lie. I like having powdered sugar, maple syrup, and sometimes even fruit in my pancakes. I don't really do chocolate or like any sort of chocolate anything because the flavor isn't really good on pancakes. The combination, it's just not. But I like whipped cream. I mean, something light pairs really well with light pancakes. It makes for an easy meal, not anything heavy. So yeah, I think that the goodness in the pancakes and the drawing will definitely come down to the little things. So the day I drew him, I had pancakes for breakfast. Therefore, I was feeling supercharged and pretty prepared with what I was going to do with him. The color scheme was up in my mind along with the accessories I had planned. Now, I will be honest, I did not figure out what I wanted to name him until I woke up the next day and had this random aha moment. So pancakes are also called flapjacks, you know that probably, and therefore I had a feeling I should name him Jack. I mean, the name is common, but not among my original characters. If I ever want to draw him or the ice cream girl again, they'll have names. That's good, right? Here I was using symmetry to get the eyes done. I knew it looked really weird, and his face is in 3/4 view, so I probably was a bad idea to draw them like this, but it's gonna work out, see? Anyway, my sister came in and was like, you named the ice cream girl Sugarette, and then chose a boring name for him? I mean, she wasn't being rude at all. Jack is not a bad name. It's great. It's just kind of simple in comparison to the fantasy-ish name of Sugarette. I mean, after that I started brainstorming names like Syrup and Maple Leaf for him, but they sound kind of boring in comparison to Sugarette. Okay, here I was trying to incorporate maple syrup into his design. I had this awesome idea to do this swirly pattern on his shirt. I think it looks so cool. Guys, admit it. If you could wear this shirt, you would. Okay, back to the name predicament. I'm not going to let my sister down. He needs a better name. What about... what? Oh, Jack Leaf, okay. That means his nickname can be Jack, but he has the leaf in there for maple leaves. It makes sense. But Jack Leaf is giving, magical animal villager vibes, cute Dungeon and Dragon character, if that makes any sense. That's not what I'm going for at all. What can I name him? I don't know. My old idea is maple syrup leaf. Oh, that's weird. That's weird. Jack Syrup. He can have, 2 names like Mary Ann. Huh, that's an interesting idea. I don't know, maybe Jack Leaf is what I'll have to do. I'll have to just name him Jack Leaf. I mean, Sugarette and Jack Leaf are pretty good names together. They don't sound like one is too much better than the other. Here, it had been over 40 minutes of drawing him, and I was just getting ready to finish him up because I had drawn him in one sitting, unlike most of my digital drawings. I just grabbed some snacks, a drink, and sat at my desk for a while to be creative. There's nothing better than that. Sometimes I do the same, but with writing stories. I have chapter books that I've been writing that have almost 200 pages. You can infer that I love creating characters and lore just as much as I like to read about it and watch lore and stuff like that, because I was huge on Keeper of the Lost Cities lore for a long time. It's a book series. I was an intense collector of it ever since book 1, which I read in under a week because I was just in love. I started to write down everything until Keeper of the Lost Cities Unlocked came out. That was when they had done all the lore keeping for me. I'm not so sure where the idea of giving Jack Leaf suspenders came from, but I'm glad it came to mind because I had fun doing the shading and lighting on them. It was really satisfying, like doing the sprinkles inside of Sugarette's hair. Whenever I draw glasses, I try to make them feel tangible, like you can touch them. I always use the color white and a variety of brushes to express the fact that glasses are shiny, they have lenses in them, and so on. I think I did a pretty good job with Jack's glasses. I mean, look, we can still see his eyes, we get the feeling that they're behind something. Perfecto! More shading, more shading. Oh, then we move on to the background. I was so sure of what I was doing. I was like, oh yeah, this is easy stuff. But then I went to the extreme of adding so much that I didn't even know what I was drawing. That's just the feeling of being lost with your own map, and it does not feel good. I meant to know where I'm going. It's my artwork. I settled on making it simple, though. That was easy. And here is our finished illustration of Jack Leaf, yes, that's what I named him. The finished picture of Jack Leaf. Okay, yes. Here they are. I've done it. I've taken two foods and turned them into character designs. I have to admit, I can tell what food Sugarette is meant to be much more than I can tell what Jack Leaf is, but I tried. Give me the credit I deserve, universe, please. Thank you. So, both of these drawings took around 50 minutes to make, and so the value in the results is fairly similar. I think I did awesome, and thanks so much for joining me. Well, viewers, this video is almost over. I just want to recommend that you like and subscribe to help keep Kozy Corner thriving, growing, living, whatever. My channel is truly better when I get a little love from cool people like you. Thanks, and goodbye!